All right, y'all. Welcome to But the Caveat is I'm your host, Blue. This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Y'all heard this story. So did y'all hear about the judge chat that was having sex in her chambers? So the judge was having sex in her chambers, child. We go out here. This is so embarrassing. Let's just listen. I want y'all to hear this. This is buffoonery.
Federal judge and a high-ranking Atlanta police official are at the center of explosive allegations.
It involves sexual encounters
No,
inside the
it's
judge's
real.
chambers during work hours.
One court clerk testified to hearing what was described as unsettling noises, kissing, and music coming from the judge's chambers.
The Honorable Judge Eleanor Ross claimed that she was just praying in her chambers every day during the lunch hours with Deputy Police Chief Kelly Collier. The scandal being exposed after one of her own law clerks complained that the indecent liaison was negatively affecting her job performance.
In some ways, this is a self-inflicted.
Did y'all hear the screaming? This ain't a good. This isn't a good audio. Hold on, because the dude was on there. Hold on, let me see if I can get another one without so much talking.
Federal judge and a high-ranking Atlanta police official are at the center
Listen,
of
let's rewind it.
federal judge.
That's embarrassing. Listen, everybody does need love, but this lady ought to know better. She looks about 50. I could tell that she hadn't had nothing in a long time, clearly. But I understand the deed was good, but in your chambers, you have to use discretion. You have to be quiet. And if you can't be quiet, put a sock in your mouth. Like, what? This shit's embarrassing. She was overexcited. Yes. Corby said, ooh. This is so embarrassing. So this same judge, I forget what her name is. Hold on. This same judge was actually the ones that sent I said yelling. No, not yelling. Judge was set. Hold on. In chambers. This judge was actually the same one that sent the Christies away. That famous family that was for tax evasion. And so they people were saying like her job performance was being affected. And so they started like investigators. So a federal judge has been disciplined for having sex in their chambers with a high ranking law enforcement officer within earshot of staff attending to a partisan political event and for lying to superior judges who investigated the claims. But the identity of the judge is being kept private by the Committee on the Judicial Conduct and Disability of the Judicial Conference of the United States in decision issued Friday. The judge was ordered to write letters of apology to 6 former law clerks who were interviewed in the probe, foregoing services as the chief judge in the federal district where they sit, and refraining from sitting on any justorial conference committee. Oh, so she lost her judge. I hope that deed was that good that you lost that good paying federal job with a pension. That's just crazy. Um, what else it says? I don't know why they're withholding her identity. They already telling who she is. I thought. I'm trying to look and see what they saying. Hold on. That's just embarrassing. We already know who she is. And then they told who she was. Hold on. They showed pictures, so I'm assuming those pictures, and I'm assuming the picture that they showed online isn't her. Because if they're saying that they're withholding her information, this is CNBC. Let's see if somebody else is messy enough to to reveal who she was. Yep, they ain't telling who she was. But I thought I heard her name. But at least on TikTok, I think the Christie's messy asses was telling though. So the Christie's, they said that this judge see these are the pictures right here.
The judge had sex on at least 5 occasions over a 2-year period inside her chambers with a high-ranking police officer. Employees interviewed during the
And here's the fucked up thing. They're saying that she's an Obama appointed judge. Like the first black president appointed you and this is how you repay him? Having sex in your chambers? I mean, I understand like everybody needs love, but god darn. Like lady, so this is supposed to be the two that was in the chambers getting it in. And I think he might have been married. I'm pretty sure he's married. So I'm hearing about her discipline. I wonder, was he fired? Was the because they're highlighting the judge. What about the law enforcement? Like, I wonder what his discipline was. I bet you he still got his ombudsman for sex in chambers. I bet you he still got his job. But we can't have her on the bench when you can't even control your hormones enough to make a conscious decision to have sex in a bedroom. You having sex at work. Like, what are you doing? So these are the acts. So obviously she had no public penalty. So this is the disciplinary action against her, but we don't hear anything about I don't hear anything about the cop or the law enforcement guy. Maybe he has to do the same thing. And but they're not saying anything about what he getting. It's just all her. She's getting all the discipline. Hell nah, he was off duty. So what? He's still having sex in a judicial chamber. That's like you still, even though you're off duty, you still have to uphold yourself at a high standard. You're representing the law. You're representing your law enforcement. You can't be doing stuff like that. There's a morality code of ethics. Like you can't be having sex in chambers. You can't be like sex in public places is actually illegal, right? Am I wrong about that, Chad? I believe that's illegal. She was still at work. Yeah, she was still at work, but he is sex in public. You can't have sex in public. Am I wrong about that, Chad? Just like you can't be nude in public, like that's a public space he's in. It actually broke the law, both of them. She lucky she didn't get charged with some lewd acts. Both of them. She wasn't supposed to let him in for that. Shut up. Wait, sex in public is definitely against the law. It's definitely a fireable offense on his behalf. He should have been fired. Yes, having sex in public is illegal. In the United States and most jurisdictions, it is generally classified as a criminal offense, such as indecent exposure, lewd act, conduct, and public indecency. He broke the law off duty. He shouldn't be a cop anymore. We're not hearing anything about him not being a cop. We're just hearing she gotta apologize and promise not to try to go for any judge type position. Girl, I hope that deed was amazing that you sat there and lost your job over. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she must have had none in years, bitch. She must have had none in a long time. She risked it. She risked it. Oh, damn. I'm not really public. It's not really public. Judge chambers are private. Now, Rasa, you can't tell me a judge office is not considered public when a person can come into and I think they can come into the chambers, not the chambers, but in the area where like court stuff is handled and have a camera because of public for them because they are because it's a public space, like they can record because like, and I could be wrong about that, but they're you know those guys that like bait people when they go to these like public buildings and they just randomly record. I think a courthouse is like the same thing where they can't go in like the actual chambers where like the cases are happening, but they can record on the outside. I think I could be wrong about that. He knocked the dust off that poom poom. He did. He did. How did he blew her back out? That was crazy. I already know what position they was in. That was backdoor.
Investigation described multiple incidents where they alleged
My son just pressed that. Stop. Leave it alone. Um, yeah. So, well, best the wishes to her. I hope that she gets her life together. I hope she does some counseling to figure out why she would risk her career for just a few minutes of pleasure. That was just so stupid. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you leave 5-star rating, and y'all have a good night.